Welcome to Oracle Spiritual Healing Channel. And today I wanted to talk to you about the dysfunctional family, the patriarch, the matriarch of your family, the flying monkeys. And in many cases for our chosen ones, the abuse started very early in life. These parents did not want you to say anything to the flying monkeys. These flying monkeys could abuse you. They could, talk down to you. They could belittle you. They could run a smear campaign with you. And the mothers and fathers, the matriarchs and the patriarchs wanted this to happen because they could not abuse you in that way. And we have the understanding that there are different types of abuse that they wanted to inflict upon the chosen ones. And they would use this in order to bring down your self-confidence, your self-esteem. And they use this as a tactic so that they would have all of these people ganging up against you. They would be able to run the smear campaign throughout the family so that when you got older, when you said anything, that these people would automatically not believe you. These friends, these family members, these flying monkeys would gang up against you in order to keep you in that low vibrational state, in a mental capacity where you needed to be validated by these people, and especially by the friends that would take it to an extreme level. These flying monkeys, some of them were allowed to sexually abuse the chosen ones. Some of the family members were allowed to molest the chosen ones, incest, these demonic relationships. These are the types of abuses that were allowed to go on in this narcissist family dynamic, so that the chosen one's light would be put out and dim. The mental capacity would be siphoned with the evil eye, with these hired spirits that have been attached to them, and they would need to be validated throughout their life or be enslaved to these friends and family members so that they would never reach their potential or the height that they were supposed to reach in life. They would be rejected in relationship because of these hired spirits that were attached to them. And so now that we have understood that these frequencies and attachments were sent out as a direct attack upon your mental health, they were siphoning your energy, your psychic, they were sending psychic attacks upon your mental capacity, your mental health, your body. Because a lot of you never would have thought that, these parents would put you in competition with the child or the children that they wanted to be, the golden child, and not you as the chosen one. A lot of you have, would never think in a million years that, your mother was in competition with you, or for you men or men or women, your father was in competition with you. And they were siphoning your mental energy, your strength, your physical energy, so that you would never rise above them or the ones that they wanted to distribute that type of energy to. So we have been cleansing this type of energy with our full moon cleanses. We have been cleansing these types of negative energy. So these people have started to expose the demonic behavior as they are willing to go to war with you in order to keep you in that low self-esteem, low vibrational, in order to keep your light dim so that they can be rewarded by the entity for siphoning your energy, ultimately unaliving you slowly. harming your mind, putting you on medication, using the practice of the entity, using the regular way of doing business in society, where they would harm those types of chosen ones that they could not control. These types of people did not want to ever see you rise above the children that they wanted to be in competition. A lot of you were going through this that had, good grades and were very smart while you were in school. You would be belittled, or you would be minimized by these types of parents, by these types of siblings. They would gang stalk you because you were smarter than them, and they never wanted that to come out to people in society. They never wanted that to come out to the people, in the family, whom the children that they wanted could not compete with you. A lot of you, they could not compete with your beauty. And so, we have these types of parents, and I definitely had this in my family, where, my mother and father did not want me to be around my younger sisters and brothers, because I was a problem for them. Other kids could come over and play with my sister and brother, and they would isolate me and separate me, and ultimately, they abandoned me and got rid of me, so that, I would not be, compared to them when people would come around and say, oh, she is so, smart, she's so, beautiful, she is this, she's that. And my mother did not like that. So when you are, demonstrating that your abilities, and God has given you the blessings, and they're unable to dim your light, or, put you in a low vibrational state in competition, you won't be quiet. You won't stay in the background. And this is going to trigger a lot of you. And you'll have to come back and watch this again. Because these parents who wanted to harm you, and they would rather let the flying monkeys or the siblings abuse you, or the people in your family abuse you, because they wanted to harm you in this way. A lot of you have been sent, death spells. They have used sex magic on you. They have, these types of spells. It is what has been keeping you bound to these spirits, these higher spirits, that they've used this type of Jezebel magic in order to send to you as the chosen one, male or female. This Leviathan spirit, male or female, to keep you, promiscuous, to keep you in a low vibrational state, in order to, bring about your slow demise, so that you would contract diseases, that you would stay in a mental state of not being able to move forward in life, because you have these types of attachments. You would go to jail, and you would ultimately be sick, so that, you are, at their mercy. You're at the mercy of those flying monkeys. You're enslaved to the family, and you're mentally, bound, gagged, and tied by these entities that they dispatch to you, using this type of malevolent magic, this type of sex magic. So this is what this type of sex magic is used to do, in order to attach these types of entities. And the mothers and the fathers who were involved in these types of attacks upon your mind, they were binding you to the family. They were binding you to an entity. And they are held accountable when you start to use a cleanse, a spiritual cleanse, that negative energy that they have manipulated your spirit, manipulated your mind, manipulated your wealth, your prosperity, and took that for their own and distributed into the family. Taking your blessings, that negative energy has to be returned to those warlocks and witches who were in your dysfunctional family, who put you in that low vibrational state. And I am so glad to be here to help you to break out of that negative energy, to break out of, those binding spells, those hells that they have created for you. And so, we've been doing that with our full moon cleanse and the different types of cleanses for those clients who have been reaching out to me. So I'm glad to, have to be at your service and help you to remove this type of attack off of your mind, where you're not in competition with those family members that they wanted you to be in competition, that you're not under them and enslaved to these families. And I hope that you received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. You can book your one-on-one life coaching session or your video chat session. Book your consultation so that I can acclimate a gift to your situation. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.